When DCF first contacted me and they told me that I was neglectful to my daughter, I was flabbergasted, angry, upset, astonished, like I just couldn't believe it. I had spoke with the investigator over the phone. She told me she was going to do a home visit. She came by my home. She handed me a paper that said there was a 51A against the father of my child, not against me. So I was very confused that I was neglectful when my name was not on that paper. And also, when I had spoke to the person doing the home visit, she never mentioned that I was being neglectful to my child. It was all the father had been neglectful and we're coming in to check on you and your children. I found out months later that this allegation was against me. I had evidence that showed I was not neglectful. I had a note from a therapist showing that I was getting my daughter help. I had medical records proving that I was the one taking care of my child. And they wanted nothing to do with that. They didn't want to look at it. They didn't want to hear it. So DCF, I gave them the evidence that I had at the fair hearing and the fair hearing officer, and they told me they would take it into consideration, but it didn't really matter at that point. And then they hit me with another allegation that wasn't even mentioned to me. So now I had two allegations against me. And what I didn't like, they call it a fair hearing, but the fair hearing officer works for DCF. How is that fair? So after the fair hearing, I had to wait months on end to get a response by mail, even though I had contacted them several times over the phone. And once I got that response, it said that I was neglectful. So once I got that, I realized this is not a fair situation here. I went in with my evidence, and the fair hearing officer works for DCF. So I need someone on my side. And that's when I searched for a DCF lawyer that dealt specifically with DCF cases, and that was Kevin Seaver. And with him being on my side, I felt more comfortable. I felt like someone's here to fight for me. I'm not alone in doing this. And I felt more confident that this case was going to be different. And it was. I may have lost the battle on my own, but I won the war with Kevin Seaver against DCF. Kevin Seaver cross-examined DCF's social worker, which was great because I didn't know how to do that. And when he did that, the DCF social worker didn't see it coming. She couldn't even answer the questions. She was tripping over her own words, running through pages, trying to find evidence against me, and it was just not happening. Kevin came in like a big bulldog and just chewed her right up. So when the fair hearing officer had questions, she had to ask Kevin Seaver what page this information was on. She didn't even know the case either. And they were both flipping through pages, the fair hearing officer and the social worker, and they were just like lost at what evidence they were going to try to find on me. The end result ended up being in my favor. I did get the allegation against me reversed, so it was now in my favor, and I couldn't have done it without Kevin Seaver. He is the best lawyer that you could get with DCF. That's his expertise. You don't want another lawyer that does family law or whatever the case may be. You want someone who's an expert at what you're looking for. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would definitely rate Kevin at a 10. He was awesome. He was there with me the whole way. I would definitely recommend Kevin Seaver to my family and friends or anyone involved in DCF, because if I knew what I know when my very first fair hearing came up, I would have got a lawyer right from the beginning. I am one of Kevin Seaver's many success stories. So I suggest if you have problems with DCF, you choose Kevin Seaver, because you could also be his success story.